Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the new Starship UI for The Sims 2, which is basically dark mode for The Sims 2. If you've seen any of my other videos, then you probably know that I use the Clean UI, which is white, and I highly recommend this. I really like it. I'm not expecting to be swayed from this to the new Starship, to be honest, but then again, I am a light mode freak. I even have Discord in light mode. And speaking of which, I actually have my own Discord now. I made a server so that I could interact with you guys, so please come and join, come hang out, chat with me, get to know me and each other. There's plenty of different channels to discuss several different things in. So the Starship UI was based on the Clean UI. It's a similar style, but the main one is in black, but it also offers pink and green, and I'm actually most interested in this green option. I think if any could sway me, it might be this green, so I guess we'll see. So to download it, just go to one of these links here, and then once it's done, just put it on your desktop. Now, I was going to be covering installation, but since I'm going to be installing it to any game starter and not my usual setup of The Sims 2, that will probably just make it too confusing for anyone that will actually benefit of an installation tutorial. So I'm just going to quickly explain based on what I see in the zip file. It's quite self-explanatory, quite straightforward. So the first thing you need to do is just pick one of these four to put in your downloads folder based on your monitor's resolution. So like me and probably most of you, you'll need the 1080p one, and then you go into this folder and there's a readme telling you exactly what to do and tells you where to put things. So you choose one loading screen. Unfortunately, there isn't a picture showing you the difference between them. I think rural might be quite similar to the one that I use for Clean UI, which looks like this. So I'll try geometric, and it says for Origin users, this is the path that you go to, so you just navigate to that in your folders and put the one you choose in there. And then you open the cursors folder, and then you go to each of these folders and put all the stuff inside them into the paths that it tells you in these text files. So you put them in this folder if you have the Ultimate Collection. So all the instructions are there in the zip file, so I'm sure you'll be able to work it out. So I'm going to go ahead and install it, and then we'll see what it looks like in game. By the way, if you do use Clean UI right now and are just wanting to try this out to see if you will prefer it like me, I highly recommend you do a backup of your game folder first so that you can replace it if you decide you want to go back to the Clean UI. I've just noticed something as I'm installing this that I want to mention, because this path isn't exactly accurate. It says it's Origin Games, The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, Double Deluxe Base UI. But for me at least, that misses out two steps. When you get to base, there isn't a UI folder. You have to go to TS Data, Res, and then UI. And this is where my files for the Clean UI are installed. So I'm going to be moving them out and putting the Starship one in. So this is what the UI looks like in the loading screen. The geometric is just quite a simple background, kind of the Sims 4 style, and I think the rural one would be a picture. So this is, I guess, cleaner, more simple, but the rural one might be a little bit more interesting. I probably should have mentioned that this is in beta. It's not final. There will be more loading screen choices, more cursors covered, and I'm sure more improvements made, so keep that in mind. It's not going to be perfect yet. It's not the final product, but anyone that can test it and provide feedback would help. So here is what the neighborhood selection looks like. It's so, I don't know, it's so clean, it's so plain. It isn't for me personally, but I can see why people like it. You know what, I'm actually going to see what the rural one looks like, see what I think of that before moving any further. Okay, so this is more familiar to me. This is what I see when I use the Clean UI, but honestly I don't know if it goes with the black. It goes really nicely with the white, but yeah, for me, looking at this now, which is my usual picture of a loading screen, I can really see that I do prefer the white, and it goes much better. Wow, and the loading screens are really, I actually kind of like that, because the blue on the loading screens is really dated, I suppose. Nostalgic, but dated. So here's what Create a Sim looks like. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't have any mods or custom content at the moment using the Any Game Starter, so I can get in and out of the game as quickly as possible while recording. This is so weird to me. It's nice. I was expecting things to be more unfinished, to say that it's in beta. It looks, you know, it looks really well polished. It looks finished. You know, I'm impressed. I think these blue text could do with being white. That might be on the to-do list. The backgrounds of the clothes and stuff aren't as bad as I thought. I thought it would make things stand out less, but really it's fine. It's not as clear as the white, obviously, but I don't think the contrast or anything's an issue. I think it looks good. So the pop-ups look like this at the moment. I quite like it. It kind of keeps the blue, but I wonder if that's going to be changed, if it's going to be a solid grey box with the white text eventually. Oh god, the loading screens are so weird. I don't like that there's no progress bar though, so you can't see how far along you are. Let's go see what it looks like in the goth house in... Okay, so the family loading screens aren't changed at the moment. I can see that would be hard to do with the people on them still. So this is the live mode UI. I kind of like it. I know that it's not going to be something that I use because I'm just not a dark mode person, but I think it looks great. And if you're the type of person that has literally everything in dark mode, then I think this would be a great option for you. I kind of think they're like not very clear somehow. Like these bars don't look very clear compared to the needs anyway. It looks like that yellow could do with being darker or something. I don't know. Same with these. I think these could do with being white instead of blue. Quite like the blue here though. I think that works really nicely. I'm impressed. I really think this doesn't have a long way to go for it not to be in beta. I like the shape of the UI and everything's familiar to me. It's a similar place to where everything is on the white one. I also like how transparent it is. That's really nice. Let's have a look at the catalogue. Okay, so the catalogue pictures at the moment still have the whitish blue backgrounds, which I don't mind. I'm glad that they have a good contrast, because I feel like if these backgrounds were made to be dark, each item would be too hard to see. So I think that's nice like that. Yeah, I like it. I don't know what mods there is to say really. I kind of knew this was going to be a shorter video. I've been putting a lot of time into sorting out my CC. It's taken a really long time, but once I do that, that's going to mean that I'll feel like I can stream, because it'll mean that my game hopefully won't take as long to load and that my catalogues and stuff won't be so chaotic to look at. So that's something I really want to get polished up before I go into a stream and start a new neighbourhood, because I want to play Strange Town. So yeah, that's something I've been working on, so I could really do with doing more of these shorter style videos to give myself more time to work on that. Because I'm getting really excited to start streaming, but my fear is, say if I got some pink soup or my game crashed, I'd have to probably play another game, because at the moment it can take like 30-40 minutes to get from my game loading to a family. So that's not something I want to have to do on stream. I'd feel really awkward and embarrassed about that. So I'm working on getting my game perfect the way I want it before I do a stream. So it's going to take a while, but I'm something I'm really committed to doing. So anyway, yeah, I feel like that's about all there is to show you in game. I thought I saw people using the pink one, but I didn't see an option to install that or download that. So I want to see if I can find that anywhere, but if not, then that might be about all there is to say. Let's have a look at what some of these things look like. Okay, so my icons like this have been covered and some haven't, like this one. It looks good. I'm really impressed with it. I think it's nice. I think this is going to be really up some people's street. Not all cursors are covered yet, and some of my cursors might be from the Clean UI, but they'll all be coming soon. So I've just had a look around, and it doesn't seem like you can download the pink or green options yet. I just thought I had seen some other screenshots of the pink one, but I couldn't find them anywhere. I don't know where I saw them. I don't know if it was in a Discord server or on Tumblr or what. I've no idea. I can't find them anymore. Anyway, the pink's definitely not for me. But I have to say I do like the look of this green one. The green is very classic The Sims. So that is something I am interested in and might get swayed when that's finished. I do hope this gets changed. I don't like that this floor up down buttons kind of stand out like that in the different colour. But they're in much earlier development, I guess, because you can't even download them in beta. So yeah, they're not ready yet. What I do like is the shape of this UI, that the three main buttons are in this circle, whereas it's flat on the Clean UI. I do like that design. I think that's very nice. So yeah, my verdict is that I'm going to be sticking with the Clean UI. I will be keeping an eye out on the release of the green version and see if that's something I'm interested in. Do note that some planned additions are new loading screens and the cursors to be made to dark, because at the moment they use the white ones like the Clean UI does. Personally, I quite like that contrast, having the black UI and the white cursors. I think that looks nice. But what I am hoping for is something like this, a blue version, which you can see on this Reddit post. Someone says, I made Clean UI, which I contributed UI elements to and play tested, a little more purple. I don't know why they call it purple. Most of the comments are saying, I'm sorry, but are you colorblind? This isn't purple, it's blue. But anyway, like the original UI, and I really like that. I think if there was a blue version, I think I'd be really tempted to get that. But there is nowhere to download this. I don't know if they maybe were thinking about sharing it and didn't have permission, or got so annoyed at everyone telling they're colorblind and kind of being a bit rude that they decided not to share it, or if it was just photoshopped, because as you can see, it kind of masks over the wants and fears. It just looks like a mask over everything. So I don't know if this is real. I think if something like this was to be implemented, it would need to be improved, because it just kind of puts a blue haze over the top of everything rather than it looking like the blue is the background and the features stand out on top of them. But hopefully that could be in the plans for Starship UI. Who knows? I think that is something that would be quite popular. I think a lot of people would like a blue option. So yeah, that's kind of my verdict. My favourite is still the Clean UI, and obviously that is very much finished, but you do get the blue loading screen still, but I don't mind that personally. It's never bothered me. If you really like the look and idea of this Darkmode UI, grab it now, because you can then report any problems you find in this Mod The Sims thread, which the creator is checking and using as sort of a to-do list of the problems. For example, this is a problem, the negative mood meter being empty. And these are things brought to their attention and they'll be working on. So if you're kind of passionate about this project, download it now and put anything you can suggest in the thread. But if it's just something that you kind of like and think you might prefer over the Clean UI, I recommend maybe just waiting until the official release so that you get that fully finished product and don't have to update your files or anything like that. If you want more mods to improve the look of your UI, check out the recommended list on the Clean UI page and the UI section of my mods list. Now, as a comparison, I've just booted up my game in the Clean UI. I usually use, in my opinion, this still looks better, but I completely understand why people would prefer the darker Starship UI. I think there's a right choice for everyone, so I hope that's helped you make your decision a little bit. As you can see with this version, it uses the classic loading screens, which I don't mind too much. It's a bit dated, but I like that you can see the progress bar and that all the loading screens are consistent. And if you don't yet have a UI mod and you're just still using the default blue one, then hopefully this has helped you make a decision of which one to go for. I highly recommend you do get a mod to overhaul your UI, but it's completely up to you what you prefer. Are you gonna hold out for the finished dark mode? Are you gonna hope and pray for a blue version? Are you gonna wait for the pink or green to be finished? Or are you just gonna now go to the clean UI? Let me know, I'd love to hear what you think. So personally, I just find this UI a little bit clearer. I think the blue and white really complement each other, but the blue and black not so much. So yeah, that's my choice. I'd love to know yours. Hey, so I'm just jumping back in a couple of days later because we have had some really exciting news and I just couldn't resist but add this into the video because we have had a clean UI and widescreen mod for Body Shop. This has never been done before, nothing like it. This is revolutionary. It's so impressive. It looks brilliant, so I just wanted to make you aware of this and show you what it looks like while we're on the topic of overhauling the look of our UI. So here's what it looks like in the app. Do note that I am using the Brighter Body Shop mod, which I mentioned in my must-have mods for Creator Sim video, but I'll link it in the description of this video as well. So I am so impressed with this. I think it looks really good. So let's just clone this sim I made earlier and take a look. And as you can see, the interface just looks so much nicer. It looks so good. Everything is a bit clearer. It's so nicely spread out. It's amazing. It's really, really nice. This makes it a lot more encouraging to use Body Shop. Body Shop's something I started using more often more recently. So yeah. How impressive. Do note though that a current problem it has is that the pictures for the custom slider mod that I also mentioned in my must-have mods for Creator Sim video, the icons look a bit weird in Body Shop at the moment. That's something that might be worked on. I think I've seen someone report that already, so hopefully they get fixed either by the author of the Body Shop UI or the author of the custom sliders. But I mean, you can still kind of tell what they're doing. It's not a huge problem, but it does look a little bit weird. So I won't be covering installation because it is very clearly explained here on the mod page. Straightforward. However, I do just want to mention that I was getting this error and I found the fix through this post on Tumblr by Social Bunny and Troddlecare, who is actually my favourite author of Maxis Match Hairs at the moment, replied and said that what you need to do if you get this error is to open the Body Shop hack in the CS bin and change the IMAX retries to something bigger, like 5,000 or 10,000. That is actually mentioned on the mod page, but I just wanted to credit this because that's where I found the information, and this does actually tell you where to find that, where this doesn't actually tell you which folder the Body Shop hack is in. So you just go to your CS bin in this path and open the Body Shop hack INI, and then it's just this line here called IMAX retries, and I just made it much bigger, 50,000. So then that just makes sure that Body Shop never gives up trying to load. Mine takes a really long time to load because of all the custom content I have, so yeah, that just basically allows it to take a long time to load instead of giving up and throwing an error. So that's everything I have for you today. I hope it was somewhat helpful. Let me know what you think. Come join my Discord. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and find me on other platforms like Twitter at Billadova. I'll leave the link to the 2 UI mods in the description of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!